वेलकम 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 सो आई एम डूइंग दिस फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम। तो अगर कुछ हक देता हूँ तो समझ लेना, समझ के ले लेना। तो आज एक मिनट। आज हम ये सवाल के जवाब देखेंगे क्या है। ये स्ट्रीम ऑब्वियसली बिल्कुल भी ऐसे शैलो लेवल पे नहीं होने वाला है। इट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी डीप। तो देर तक बैठे रहना, कुछ खाने वाने चाहिए तो ले लेना। रोहित, can you tell me if the audio is right? ऑडियो आ रहा है? ऑडियो ओके? ऑडियो ओके? परफेक्ट। सो लेट्स बिगिन। सो इट्स माय फर्स्ट टाइम, तो बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग है ये सब कुछ, बट ऑब्वियसली विल बिगिन। हु एम आई? दिस इज व्हाई वी आर हियर। ये कम्युनिटी है इस बारे में दैट वी डू नॉट यू नो try to debate, we just try to explore. There is no debate. We explore different philosophies, different schools, different ideas, and we try to land on our own understanding of this question: who am I? So now I have obviously studied philosophy. I have a degree in philosophy, and I have my personal interest lies in the study of consciousness. So I would be able to bring a lot of value through content, obviously. So if you would like to see more of this, more of free, no bullshit, just free talk on truth, then support me. That's all. So let's go ahead. Who am I? We have to answer this question. I think more than who am I, we can ask what am I? This I-ness that I feel, what is it? The answer is I am that. Now we will try to figure out this part, which is that. My major influencers in my life have been Nisargadatta Maharaj, David Chalmers, Neville Goddard. You can see Nisargadatta Maharaj on top left, David Chalmers on top right, Adi Shankaracharya, Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya on bottom left, and Neville Goddard on voices breaking. Okay, one second. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. I hope audio is back. कोई कंफर्म कर सकता है क्या? All right. So I'm guessing audio is fine. So major influencers of my life. Nisargadatta Maharaj is actually from Mumbai and super. Matlab, he is. There's a very interesting story behind him. He was actually a cigarette seller, and Morris Friedman, who wrote a book on him called "I Am That," actually found them in Dahisar, if I'm not wrong, in the Chawls of Dahisar, a very humble uh, earner. So Nisargadatta Maharaj was a great person. Next is Neville Goddard. He is an American mystic. He interprets Bible very interestingly. The way he does it, or I don't think और कोई कर पाएगा. He uses actually these are his words. ये एक book पे ही है. That Bible is a scientific book according to him. He says if you read Bible according to his when the Bible is read in this light, you will find it to be the greatest scientific book ever written. So, if you can see this book, and then there is Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, who is the professor proponent of the non-dual philosophy of India, which is obviously the most sophisticated philosophy man has ever discovered till today. David Chalmers, why David Chalmers is such an important figure is because David Chalmers always had this question, he is a philosopher. He is the head of, I think, East American Philosophical Society or something like that. So he has always questioned consciousness. Consciousness has been a has been the biggest topic of his life. Why I'm telling you is we'll look ahead. So we'll come to this question, who am I? Right now, according to our current understanding, I am a body-mind complex, mind and matter. We can call that. Thoda sa body hai, which is visible. And then there's a mind that thinks. So we can say that I'm a mixture of body-mind. Here's the question. If you guys have seen this video by Elon Musk एक वीडियो में कहता है कि हिचहाइकर्स गाइड टू गैलेक्सी की एक मूवी है उसको रेफर करते हुए बोलता है कि even if universe is ready to give us the ultimate answer is what Elon Musk says. So I think here's the question, which is there is something called the hard problem of consciousness. I think this question is really, uh, a fundament. If this question is answered, a fundamental theory will be proved. What is this question and who coined this word? Hard problem of consciousness was David Chalmers. David Chalmers, this person who is still alive. The rest of them are not. But David Chalmers is a modern philosopher, and he coined this question, the hard problem of consciousness. अभी क्या है ये hard problem of consciousness क्या है? बेसिक बेसिक इन द मोस्ट बेसिक सेंस ये कहता है दो चीजें, एक फिजिकल मैटर है, एटम्स मॉलिक्यूल्स एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड देन देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज नॉन फिजिकल मैटर, जैसे थिंकिंग, इमेजिनिंग, थॉट्स, they may correlate as brain signals, but they are not physical matter. They are something which cannot be explained. What David Chalmers uses, what the term David Chalmers uses is qualia. We'll get into all of that. That's not a problem. Just give me a moment. So, hello, hello, hello. We were looking at the hard problem of consciousness. So, hard problem of consciousness is nothing but very, very, very simple. There is something called as consciousness. There is something called as the world, physical matter. Ignore this for a moment. This is not really necessary for now. Um, Consciousness, what is the relation between consciousness and physical processes? What are physical processes? What we see as brain signals when we have the thought of a coffee, or brain signals when we have the thought of a bad thought. So, brain signals are physical processes, but why is there an experience attached to those physical processes? Why is there this consciousness, the element of consciousness along with these physical processes? If life was just a phenomenon, a series of physical processes like thinking, seeing, acting, talking, and all of this, then those processes should have been limited just to the act. There shouldn't be an experience involved, a person who is experiencing those processes. We'll get into it, but easy question. It is not a new question, obviously. Consciousness is not a new thing. It has been spoken about since ages now. Uh, all the way from Buddhism to Hinduism to all of these religions, all of the philosophies, pretty much everyone has spoken of consciousness, even people like Charvaka, the school which does not believe that there is something called as consciousness, which actually thinks what today's science thinks that consciousness arises out of matter. That means matter assembles itself some way, somehow randomly, and consciousness arises as a consequent result of it. So even they have spoken about consciousness. I think that consciousness has always been the most important topic in the philosophy of mind and one of the most important topics in cognitive science as a whole. But it had been surprisingly neglected in the recent years. This is said by David Chalmers. There's a very interesting article actually. I want all of you to look at it. So, you see, this a 25-year-old bet about consciousness has finally been settled. The brain scientist and philosopher have resolved a wager on consciousness that was made when Bill Clinton was president. That is actually in the year I was born, that is 1998. That is, yeah, David Chalmers, the philosopher, and Christoph Koch, the neuroscientist. Both of these people got into a bed, and Christoph was very sure that today in 1998, you can see them, that consciousness is something so intense or deep that there is no technology available in 1998. So give me 25 years and I will prove you that there is a physical signature of consciousness, which is very clear. A clear signature of consciousness. Signature meaning the same way when we have a thought of our favorite destination, there is a signature, there's a brain impulse. Exactly that way, consciousness also has a physical signature, is what was claimed by Mr. Christoph. And David Chalmers was the one who said that no, it will still be an issue 25 years later. So, what happened? Uh, whatever details, I'll link this in the chat if you want. You can go and check the article yourself. Apart from that, we'll go ahead. What happened? In the end, they agreed that for Christoph to win, the evidence of a neural signature of consciousness must be clear. See, it must be clear. What we have today is not ambiguous answers about consciousness. There are no clear answers. There are, but we are looking for them in the wrong place. That word clear boomed the cock. It's clear that things are not clear, Chalmers said, and grimacing conquered. He stood off the stage and reappeared with a case of wine, which was the bet they had. But the bet was a case of wine, as the audience laughed and applauded. Cobb then doubled down on his bet. 25 years from now, he predicted, when he will be age 91 and Chalmers will be 82, consciousness researchers will achieve the clarity that now eludes them, confuses them. Chalmers, shaking Cobb's hand, took the bet. I hope I lose, Chalmers said. So even David Chalmers wants that there has to be some clear explanation to consciousness. There has to be something, which is like a direct explanation of what is this consciousness. And he says that I hope I lose, but I suspect I'll win. I suspect so too, says Christoph. I bet consciousness will be even more baffling in 2048 than it is today. I hope to live long enough to see Koch give Chalmers another case of wine. Anyways, so the conclusion was nobody has still figured out what this consciousness is all about. So, where do we look for the answer then? Obviously, consciousness is not something new. It has been spoken of. मतलब religions and history में man ever since man was curious, consciousness has been the topic of discussion. So, what is the most satisfying answer? Let us look at the most satisfying answer yet. कहाँ से आया है ये इसके पीछे का प्रमाण क्या है ये इसके पीछे का proof क्या है we'll all look at that in coming upcoming streams. Today was the first day, so I thought let us begin from the top. The best and the most sophisticated and the philosophically satisfying answer about consciousness is projection. Apparent meaning not a real thing, not something real, but only something that appears to be. The world is an apparent projection of consciousness in consciousness. Consciousness, you, the observer, remains, sorry for the S, remains, or you, the observer, remain, right, it is correct, remain unaffected by the world that observed. You, the observer, remain unaffected by the world they observe. Obviously, there are a lot of doubts coming up कि ऐसे कैसे unaffected मतलब everything affects me. How can this be unaffected? It is because हमको ये जो यू या फिर आई का जो नॉलेज है वो एक false आई है. If we understand the true knowledge or self-realization जिसको कहते हैं, you will realize that even now and even after realization, you are very much well unaffected by the world. The world was very much well an atomic projection of consciousness, unconsciousness, and you are consciousness. So this is the most satisfying answer yet. Obviously, ये तो चलता ही रहेगा साइंस वर्सेस रिलीजन एंड रिलीजन विल से दैट हमने तो ये 1000 साल पहले बोल दिया था और वो ये दो लड़ते हुए अंतर नहीं लिखते मुझे साइंस और रिलीजन इन दोनों से हमको भी सीख लेना है कि दोनों आके किस पॉइंट पे फंसे हैं टू एक्सप्लेन कॉन्शियसनेस रिलीजन कैसे फंस जाता है Consciousness is something that carries forward. It does not die. मतलब बॉडी का डेथ हो गई बट कॉन्शियसनेस लिव इन तो कहीं पीछे का नहीं करे ताकि तो बंदा अगले दिन में ये जो कॉन्शियसनेस निकल गया लेकिन हम बेटर एक्सपीरियंसेस या फिर दे से नॉन कर्मा इज ट्रू अभी जो तुम फेस पे भी पास्ट लाइफ के कर्मस के व्हाटएवर रिजल्ट्स है तो कॉन्शियसनेस इज द थिंग दैट लिव्स इन इसको हम आत्मा कह सकते हैं आत्मा अमर होता है ये सब ये रिलीजन क्लेम करते हैं साइंस साइंस क्लेम करती है कि ये फिजिकल मैटर से बनता है फिजिकल मैटर अपने आप को इस तरीके से असेंबल कर देता है कि वो कॉन्शियसनेस में बर्थ देता है फिर कॉन्शियसनेस अराइजेस आउट ऑफ फिजिकल मैटर तो इसके ऊपर एक फिलोसॉफिकल रिफ्यूटेशन है कि द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ एक्स निहिलो निहिल फिट क्या है ये एक्स निहिलो निहिल फिट इट मींस कोई चीज एक चीज के अंदर से आ सकती है अगर वो उस चीज में पहले से हो जैसे मैटर के अंदर से कॉन्शियसनेस आया है ऐसा साइंस कह रही है तो मैटर के अंदर कॉन्शियसनेस पहले से होना चाहिए तो ही वो आ सकते हैं अगर मैटर के अंदर कॉन्शियसनेस नहीं था पहले तो देयर इज नो वे इट कैन बी एज अ रिजल्टेंट प्रोसेस आल्सो और एज अ रिजल्टेंट फिनोमेनन तो साइंस यहाँ फंस जाता है रिलीजन इस बात पे फंस जाता है कि ये कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ रीबर्थ एक्सप्लेन करते करते because you can prove it in the now. Rebirth is something that one has to believe, or at least through yogic powers, one has to know it for himself. Anyways, So moving ahead, consciousness is the subject. Okay. So apparent temporary projection, just like a dream. तो ये apparent temporary projection, just like a dream, is one idea for regarding this world, but it is shared by so many people. Brahma Vivartavad, proposed by Adi Shankaracharya. Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone, meaning everyone and everything, this entire experience is you pushed outside or projected outside, is proposed by Neville Goddard. I'll show you their faces once again. ये नेविल गॉडेड है, अमेरिकन मिस्टिक, आदि शंकराचार्य, ब्रह्म विवर्तवाद जिन्होंने बोला, ये सब क्या है मैं आराम आराम से एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. डेविड चामर्स, निसर्गदत्त महाराज. नाउ life is a dream and you are asleep. You are asleep. Life is a dream. All these three, all of them share the same idea that the world is an apparent temporary projection, just like a dream. Brahma Vivartavad, everyone is you pushed out, life is a dream, you are asleep. Mount Mandukya. Mandukya is actually an Upanishad, which actually is one of the most important Upanishads in Hindu scriptures. Mount, I have put the word mount because it stands at almost like at the apex of all philosophy for me, because it has been able to give very clear and distinct definition and description of uh, you know uh, consciousness. So Mandukya is like an OG Upanishad. We'll look at it later. Instant present moment access, or the accepting this idea, I accepting this idea gives you instant present moment access to that reality which you already are. It gives you access to this which you already are. All right, we look at it. First is Brahma Vivarta Vada. Brahma or Brahman is the concept of God in Vedanta philosophy. Later on, we'll be doing a lot of philosophy streams where I'll be taking up one philosophy at a time and explaining it in detail. But right now, I think we'll look at top topics, the hot topics of philosophy, which is consciousness, the hottest topic of philosophy, obviously. So, Brahma Vivekavad, what does this say? Brahma, meaning concept of God. Vivarta, meaning apparent transformation. What is the meaning of apparent transformation? I will tell you. Vada, meaning theory or postulate. Theory of God's apparent transformation. Brahma, God. Vivarta, apparent transformation. Vada, meaning theory. We'll take a very simple example of what this Brahma Vivartavad means. Just imagine a pot, okay? A pot. which was initially a mound of clay, just clay. Okay. Now, when we put the clay on a weighing machine, let's say it said 1 kilo. Okay. We took it, made it into a pot, and then put it again on the weighing machine. It still said 1 kilo. So what difference did it really make? What really changed? If you will say that it was initially clay, now it is a pot. But when you touch a pot, are you really touching a pot, or are you really touching the clay? When you touch a pot inside, I'm giving you a very classic Vedantic example of a clay pot. There are countless such examples. So when you touch inside the pot, it's still clay. When you touch outside, it is still clay. When you weigh the pot, it is still clay. So where exactly is this pot? Where exactly is this thing called pot? Because it's only clay in material. So there was no real transformation. What changed was the name, form, and usage. The name of the shape, the name of the thing, clay, changed into pot. The form, it was a mound of clay. It took a shape, so the form changed. The usage, that means there was no use for the clay. It now can be used to fill water. So what really changed? Name, form, and usage. Now, this is called as Nama Rupa Vyavhar in Sanskrit, but you can skip that. Brahma Vivarta Vada. Clay became pot. No real transformation happened. In substance, clay remained clay. No real transformation happened. Brahma or Brahman, concept of God does not really change into the world. God only appears to transform into a world. That means the world is full of God. The world itself, the world is itself God. But why do we see this world? It's an apparent transformation or an apparent temporary projection, a change. There is no real change happening. Now, what is the point of the point of ourselves? The world is the point counterpart. The world is the consequent result. The same way point was the consequent result. No real change happened. Even in the world, there is no real change happening. Only an apparent transformation is taking place. If what apparent transformation of God. Now, what is the concept of God? Again, in Vedanta, it is consciousness. Consciousness apparently projects itself as the world. So, consciousness apparently meaning no real change is happening, apparently transforms or seems like it is appearing to itself as the world. Consciousness, what was the answer we took? The world is an apparent projection. The pot is an apparent change of clay. In clay, you, the clay, remain unaffected by the world. That is the pot. No matter what it is, may it be a pot or a broken pot, it does not affect your true nature. You are the clay. So, similarly, in Brahma Vivartavada, there is an apparent transformation of Brahman, no real transformation. Brahman is nothing but consciousness, or pure awareness, pure consciousness. Everyone is you pushed out. Everyone is one second. Everyone is you pushed out, meaning Neville says that all the people you meet, anyone you meet in life, is a physical materialization of you, your belief system, the concepts that you have entertained, your conditioning. Everything and everyone is you pushed out, projected out. Life is a dream. You are asleep. This is a famous Sufi concept. The ones who read about Sufism will know this very well. It's a mystical side of Islam. Mystical meaning it is led by mystics. Mystics are those people who are very silent, who are not around here to prove God the way we mortals try to prove God. So as though it is something that exists only because we are proving it, and without our proof, God will lose his existence. All of these are things that are going on in our head. But Sufi mystics, they are ever immersed in the love of God. Now, according to them, life is a dream. You are asleep. What does this mean? Let's suppose, imagine that you are dreaming right now, okay? Now, if someone comes and tells you in the dream that you are in a dream, obviously you wouldn't believe. Obviously, you would say that no, this is real. If someone would come and show you that you are asleep, अबे तू सो रहा है, अबे तू सपना देख रहा है, ये सपना है. That means he shows you who you really are, the person sleeping in the bed. Sorry, he shows you who you really are, the person sleeping in the bed, and he says you are asleep. This is a dream. The same thing applies to this waking world as well. This waking life is also a dream. You, the consciousness, are asleep. You are asleep to the fact that you are the consciousness. You are the dreamer of this dream. The moment you wake up, the dream will be over. And you will realize that you are that. You are it. You are the reason of the center point of everything. All right. Now we'll look at the fourth one, Mount Mandukya. We'll have a whole different episode on Mandukya. It'll take at least 5 straight episodes just to cover what kind of beauty, this text has. Mandukya Upanishad today can be found in a book called The seventh mantra of Mandukya Upanishad, there are 12 mantras, 12 or 13 mantras in total. The seventh mantra of Mandukya Upanishad is sort of the peak of all Indian philosophy, as it directly points at the ultimate truth, directly says where to look at, what you are, who are you, and all of that. So we'll take another complete lecture on Mandukya. And it obviously says you are all of that in the present moment. Now, you are it now. Any test against any religion is that there should be able to prove God in the present moment. And not prove, but at least direct a person who is confused in the right direction in the present moment and show him. Give him like complete matrix of complete experience. Instant present moment access. The ultimate is here and now, no need of a change in space or time. So what does this mean? The ultimate thing that you can find in this world through the human body and all of that. You watch so many people, you watch Ranveer Alabadia, and you see they talk about this some ultimate thing that needs to be achieved. All of that, all of that combined is in the here and now. No need of a change in space or time. What does this mean? No need of a change in space and time. If I say that the ultimate is in Delhi, go to Delhi. That means I'm asking you to change, make a change in space. That is from here in Mumbai, go to Delhi, and the ultimate is there. There. All right. Change in space or time. The way religions claim that do good, take good actions, and after death you will experience heaven, a world of heaven. That means it is a change in time after death. That means after this, it's a change in time. Alright. But what are we trying to do? No change. No need of a change in space. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to go on a pilgrimage. I don't have to go to a temple in order to do what? To recognize or to realize the ultimate here and now. And I don't need a change in time as well. I won't be 10 years later, I won't be capable of achieving the truth. And today I am not. The ultimate is here and now. What are the implications? Implication and relevance. What is the relevance of all of this that we understood? I am that. Who am I? Body mind complex, outcome of consciousness. What is the relation between consciousness and physical process? The relation is the relation is the relation between the observer and the observed. You, the observer, the ultimate reality is unaffected by the world, the observed. It's almost like um, the original, let's say there is something that is original, and then there is a translation fee. Which is the original really affected by the translation? Not at all. Translation may exist or may not exist. The original remains original. How much is the translation affected by the original? Completely. If there is no original, there is no translation. Similarly, you are the original. You are the observer that remains unaffected whether there is a out there. But without you, there cannot be a world out there. Then we understood what is Brahma Vivartavada, apparent transformation, clay changes to form, no real change, no second thing is created. It's only apparently transforming into another object. Apparently, not another. It is the same thing. Everyone is you pushed out. The entire world is you, current you. It's a reflection. The entire world is a reflection of you. Life is a dream. You are asleep. Mandukya, and then instant present moment access. Implication and relevance of all of that we just looked at. Mental health. Just by, I'm not even saying go meditate on the Himalayas for 20 years and do all of that. Just understand this information, just attend these streams, understand this information, even on an intellectual level. You don't even have to bring it into realization, practice it. Just even on an intellectual level, what does this mean? That I remain unaffected by the world. Why have we attached ourselves so much with the world? Is because we are falsely identified with the false identity which is not ourselves. And we can just by intellectual understanding, only to even think that there is some information that can free me will give you so much, already so much mental peace. That चाहे तुझे कुछ है, जिसको सीख के एक sort of peace level पे जाया जा सकता है. And that alone gives you so much relief. Knowing that life is a dream, just knowing that all the problems that are going on in your life today, all the shit that is going on in your life, sit, sitna hai yaar. बोलना आसान है, but just think of it. Really think of it once that maybe it is really a dream and it gives you so much relief, immediate relief within because you don't have to worry about it. Then identity crisis. Identity crisis. This is the greatest thing that is that I think it is a problem. I have saved some material to show that why this identity thing is become turning into a problem. I know there are genuine people who genuinely are born under oppression, under bad circumstances, who face trauma, and who genuinely realize their identities of different genders, various genders, and they took it up. I have something material which really is, I don't know whether to respect their opinion or whether to condemn such activities. I'm not taking both. I'm just saying identity crisis is real. All right. You don't know what identity you are, but it is any which way is not going to help you. It is any which way is not going to fulfill. Choosing one identity over another is not going to fulfill the identity crisis that you're having. Only knowing your true identity to be the observer of all the drama of life will solve this crisis. Or you will keep identifying with one personality, one out of the remaining all personalities that are there, and that choice will keep you limited to the habits and idiosyncrasies of that personality. That one thing which you have chosen. You will be exposed to the habits of being a poor person if you constantly identify being a poor person, or identify with, not being able to handle money well. Then you will be subjected to those habits automatically. So rather see that I think of myself एंड समझोगे कि मैं कौन हूँ, वो सब करने की ज़रूरत नहीं, तुम समझ लो कि मैं कौन हूँ, वही काफ़ी है। आगे कुछ और समझने की ज़रूरत ही नहीं बचती। This is what is said by all of these people. Obviously, we'll be looking at things in a much deeper way. For today, since it is my first time, I don't even know if I'm streaming anymore. I think the stream seems to be on, but yeah. So I'll be ending the stream here. Mm, I think we have covered everything that we planned. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. I think.